Hello, hello. Happy Thursday. Not sure if the sound is working. Candace, if the sound's working, would you mind? There you go. Perfect. All right, well, we will get started on today's webinar. So if you're new to this, if this is the first time joining, um, we are constantly trying to keep up with everything, especially during COVID-19, but even just in general, trying to kind of keep up on everything. And Journey's webinars are not necessarily always going to be geared towards selling a product, but more so just making sure that we structure things accordingly for our clients. And hopefully people walk away with some good tips here and there about several different things. So today we're going to be talking a little bit about online sales and services. So right now, especially with everything that has gone on with COVID-19, people are having to adapt and adjust business models just a bit and kind of try new or different things. So we're going to kind of go through a little bit of some tricks and tips and just kind of how to restructure yourself, now, but also going forward as well. Whoops. Okay, excuse me. So finding new revenue. This is the time when all of us are looking to try and figure out how do we find new revenue? What are the streams that we are going to start going after? How are we going to start looking at getting more revenue? So it's a tough time, and especially for small business right now, it's even harder to start generating any sort of revenue, let alone really being hit by this. So businesses that sell products specifically have found it more difficult to generate those sales, and that's just because think about it. A lot of our brick and mortars have been closed up. People are forced to really kind of even adapt to a whole new life now that things are starting to open back up, especially here, well, at least here in Colorado. I know other places have started to open things up differently. We've heard from some of our Arizona folks that things are starting to open up and that, there's not, some places don't even require masks. And so, but here we do in Colorado. So it's most definitely different. I think is probably the best way, but obviously that does kind of trickle down to being able to generate sales and figure out how to generate sales. Restaurants. So our restaurant industries have been hit just significantly hard with this. And while it is great and they have been fortunate to be able to do takeout or delivery, there's still a lot of restaurants that are struggling with like, how do we start, figuring this out? How do we start getting stuff going again, and what does that time frame look like for a reopening? So some it's takeout's great, some that's just not going to be enough. And even more difficult than sales are businesses that require in-person participation for their services. So classes, any sort of classes, gyms, workout facilities, all the pop-ups, the Orange Theories, the smaller gyms, the oh goodness, my words are eluding me today, but CrossFit, anything like that. Those, there are in-person things and participation that's just really tough. And so, those they can't even figure it out. I mean, we had here in Colorado Waterworld for the first time, and I think ever they have closed for an entire season, so they won't be opening in 2020. So it's definitely different, for every different industry, but very difficult for sure. Um, so we'll talk a little bit about an online store, if you will. It's always a catch-22. It's definitely an upfront chore. It's definitely something that you have to put in the work on the front end to get it going. But if you can develop an online store, that could be a way to really support your business. And we've seen a lot of people, here in our community do that and kind of open things up online where they didn't before necessarily because they have to, and they have to get creative about how they're doing that. And even if you've had to temporarily lay off employees, you would still be able to fulfill online orders. And some of our clients have said, yeah, we've created this online store, and now I'm noticing I do need the help of my employees. I'm able to bring them back. I'm able to give them a job because they can go on and help fulfill orders online. So definitely something to consider if you have that option. And if it's cost effective, you can expand your inventory. So there's a lot of different things you can start getting into and a lot of different things people need right now. So it's a great time to start kind of looking to expand to a wider variety of products. With some non-essential shops being closed, you can use your physical store to keep inventory and continue to work out of. So we know that things are closed. You know, people can't just walk in and necessarily buy things, but you know, you still use that space. You're not going to, you know, I mean, you can't do everything probably out of your home, but you know, use that space and kind of use it to keep up on your inventory and maybe even work out of. And then continuing online sales after quarantine will also help recoup lost revenue. So even when this does lift more and more, keep it up. You know, there's going to be a lot of people that, you know, unfortunately for health reasons or you know, other reasons, they just decide not to go in-person shopping anymore. So keep up the online site just because it will kind of help, you know, bridge that gap with some revenue. So starting your online store, social media is a great way, and it's one of the easiest ways to market your online products. There are so many people that are on, you know, social media platforms that are looking for things, and so, you know, make sure you use that as an outlet to get your information out there. And if you don't already have one for your business, make sure you set one up. That's going to be the key is having a business social media account set up. Facebook, Instagram, and other platforms do have options for paid advertisements, and they can use marketing, target marketing to get the demographic that you're interested in or that's looking for your product. So it's important to make sure you check out those social media options, you know, if you are looking to start something up. And find your store's platform. Do some research and find the most popular platforms within your industry. So determine the best way to sell it. If it's handmade items, if it's a collection of artisans, Etsy is probably your best platform. But Etsy might not work for everybody. So just go out there and figure out what you can do and where you can go to get your business out there in the best way possible. And find your most marketable products. We've got a lot of clients that are getting creative with getting into masks. Everybody needs a mask right now, right? So get creative and figure out how you can turn whatever product you have into some masks or make that a part of what you're trying to get marketed or sell, just because that is such a huge trend right now to be buying for. And then do some research too. Obviously, don't just go into this blindly. Do research, help yourself out by doing research to see what's selling and what's not selling. And how are people adapting to what is being sold and do they like it or not like it? I can tell you even for some of the masks, you know, it's hard to find that perfect mask. And a lot of people say, oh, the ones that tie behind your head, those are great, you know, or tie in the back of your head, those are great. But, you know, I've tried them and they slip down my hair. Every time I move, they have slipped and then they fall off. So for me, it's, you know, I'm more prone to buy ones that are over the ear, but that doesn't mean that's everybody. So you just got to get creative, but you just have to figure out what is going to work best for you and what's going to be your mode of making money for this. And then make sure you're visible with SEO. So if you've tuned into past webinars with us, you know how big SEO is. You know what a big tool that is for your business. So don't skimp on it. This is how potential buyers will find you. They'll find your products. They'll find it through search engines. So make sure they're able to find you. You want to make sure that you're visible. So get out there with that SEO. And it doesn't matter if you're an expert, excuse me, a few basics can go a long way. So, you know, Google, do your research, figure out what beginner tips are available and definitely take off with that. And then shifting your services to online may require a bit more creativity. So nobody said this was going to be easy. And I think if anything, people have learned that creativity is the best thing to have at this point. And it will help you to become successful. So one common example is classes, whether it's art, language, athletics. I have seen so many people doing video, you know, demos or video workouts, and you can do it at the comfort of your home. You can do it whenever it works for you. So get out there and figure that out. You know, definitely see, is something that you're doing marketable enough to be doing through a video like that? Because I think that's perfect. Set a class, do a class, whatever it might be. Yoga classes. So again, yoga classes are something most people go to a studio for, but with a mat, some yoga blocks, and an internet connection, you can do it from your house. You can still participate in the class. Even if offering services at a discounted price, this will hopefully keep your clients engaged and maintain some revenue. Just be smart about it. You've got to figure out what are the prices, what's going on in your industry. Don't take things for, granted. Don't take advantage of people, but really just, try to make sure that even if it's discounted, try to see what you can do to make sure you keep that revenue going. And then just again, creativity is going to be your best friend in this. Do some searches and check out social media to see what others are doing as well. The biggest thing is continue a feeling of community and client commitment to your business. The people want to support you, so take advantage of that. And as previously mentioned, restaurants are still able to fulfill pickup and delivery orders, but there are so many more options to generate revenue. And we've had some restaurant clients get so creative, and it's so great to see. You can cook a class, you can do a class, prepare the ingredients, have people pick them up. That's a good source of revenue. And then do an online class, have them sign up for a class, how to make it. People will pay for it, especially people that are looking to get into that or are interested in learning, how to do that kind of stuff through all this. And then keep your clients entertained and connected as much as possible. It doesn't always have to be that you're on your Facebook or your Instagram selling something, but make sure that you're keeping people entertained too. That's the biggest way to keep people coming back, is that entertainment piece. And membership services, this is such a huge one. So express your appreciation to members by streaming services or discounts. Just like classes is something you can easily continue to do with an internet connection. So again, they can do it from the comfort of their own home. So make it easy and definitely keep them wanting to pay for that membership. I know that locally, Candace, who puts this together, her bar class or club had asked members not to cancel their memberships, and they continue to provide the benefits. It's appealing for people. It's appealing to the community, especially when you're asking for support. But it just goes to show, if your class, whether it's your bar class or your yoga class or your gym class or whatever class it is, they're going to keep paying if you can do something to keep them part of it. It's not perfect. Nobody can do things at home as perfect as they can at the gym, but we don't have any other options right now. So this is a great way to make sure that you can get people involved and keep their memberships. In turn, if they're offering discounts on apparel and equipment to use at home, that's also a good option as well. Videos to members on Facebook, so you can continue your progress at home. There's so many things you can do, so make sure to take advantage where you can. And some key takeaways to wrap it up here. Stay relevant and stay in your clients' minds. This is the hardest time to let people slip away. Don't let people slip away. Keep on top of their mind. Try to be creative and branch out. This cannot be said enough. It's, we all have some downtime right now, so do some research and come up with some really good ideas, but keep that creativity flowing. And appeal to your community. They don't want to lose their favorite business. Nobody does. I can't tell you the amount of people I hear that say, I can't wait to go back to do this. I can't wait to go to this restaurant again. So don't lose your community. Don't lose the people who support you, and show your appreciation to your supporters. That's going to be your biggest, selling point too, is show them how much you appreciate them. Show them how much you're thankful that they have continued to support you even during all of this, when they too are struggling as well. So I think it's always just a good, as we wrap this up, it's always just a good time to remember that there are definitely ways to do things. You just have to get creative. And man, I have been so proud of our clients for so many of the different creative ways they've been able to make things work. And it just goes to show that, with a little creativity and mindset that you want to make this work, it's going to work. With that, that wraps up today's webinar. Again, these are designed to be short and sweet and to the point, so I appreciate you guys tuning in. If you have any questions, anything that you want to talk about, anything you want to discuss, feel free to reach out to me. I am by no means selling a product or a service, but if you have questions, we're always here to help. So hope everybody has a great rest of their day, a wonderful, wonderful weekend, and a very happy Memorial Day. Take care.